Mary. Go to Chris Hale.
Thank you for having me tonight. If it's okay, I want to leave a question. But after I do that, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, why I'm running, and what I want to do. And on the what I want to do piece, a plan matters. I really do think a plan matters. And so I have put together a plan. And this wasn't just dreamed up out of thin air. It was a consultation with you, including members of the executive committee who I've already met with, who are here tonight. Ernest, Dave, Adrienne, Bobby, and company. So we'll pass this out, but I hope you look at it. But I'll explain it in the too long, don't read version. But my first question is, 40 degrees, it's rainy, it's Friday night in Jackson. Many of you, I travel over 2 hours. My question is, and this is for the folks who are not required to be here. Why are you here? Does anyone want to answer, why are they here tonight? Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, you looked excited. Yes.
Improve the Democratic Party. We all want to improve the Democratic Party.
Amen. Anyone else? Sir, yeah, Bobby.
The future depends on it.
Amen. Actually, that's the future. I want to talk about the future just for a moment. Who here is under the age of 30? I am too, by the way. I am too. I'm under 30 as well. I'm just shy of 30. I can only raise my hand for a month longer, so. The future of the Democratic Party, and this is the argument I'll make tonight, is the Democratic Party today. And it's really where I want to focus on. We all have biases, and we're all arguing for one thing or another. My focus is on under 40, because I think Carl Dean said after the election, we need 500,000 new voters. My argument and my passion and my belief and my zeal is for 350,000 voters I've identified and other people have identified who are under 40 in the state who aren't participating, aren't registered, and aren't voting. There are two groups in particular. There are people of color in the urban areas and rural white folks under 40, and they're Democrats. Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, though. I grew up in Murfreesboro, several counties over in Rutherford County. I went there, grew up there, and my entire childhood I went to public school. I graduated at 18 years old. I loved politics by 18. I worked for my hometown congressman, Bart Gordon. It was 2007 when I graduated. I'll be honest, at 18 years old, I lived in Murfreesboro my entire life, and I wanted to see the world. So the world for me was Ohio. So I went to undergraduate in Ohio. I started getting inspired by a skinny guy with a funny name. So I picked up my suitcase, I went to Iowa, and I knocked on doors for that young man, skinny guy with a funny name, and he became the President of the United States. And that is the arc of my trajectory in politics. I made choices. At 22 years old, I graduated with a degree in finance and philosophy. One practical, one in the stars. I had two options. I could go to New York, work in finance, and make a lot of money. Much to the chagrin of my mom and my dad, I chose politics. I chose a job with Barack Obama, an internship that became a job. I went to go work for President Obama. I worked in the White House and on the campaign trail. I later worked in progressive advocacy. This is a point that's important to me. My faith is really important to me. 40% of the state's white evangelical, so it's important to a lot of Tennesseans as well. And from that faith, I've acted in progressive politics. We worked on immigration, healthcare. I'm very proud of the 2012 election because we won that election because me and my young colleagues across this country fought, that 300,000 Tennesseans have healthcare. 40,000 in this community alone have healthcare because we won that election. When we move ahead and I work in nonprofit advocacy, I'm very proud that on the day that President Trump announced the Muslim ban, me and 600 of my close friends, we went to the White House and we led the largest faith-based resistance to that in the country. It was on CBS Morning News, NBC Nightly News, and the rest. I'm a passionate person. Ever since my life, I've chosen to go deeper into politics because, you know what? I actually like politics. I believe in politics. Aristotle said, politics is the care of the city, the care of the people. And so I am making this my vocation. I am a politician, but I believe in politics. Donald John Trump was elected president of the United States. I lived in Washington at the time. It's where I went. It's where the jobs were. We know about this. Democrats have struggled to find jobs in this state. My friends had choices that worked in this liberal politics. A lot of my friends went to LA. Good jobs, sunny, nice podcast. Some went to New York City. A lot of fun up there. It's an attractive place sometimes. Let's be real. If you want to see the world. I went to Tennessee. I came home because once again, at this decision point in my life, I said, I'm all in. I believe in politics. I ran for Congress. I got in very late in the race against two fine opponents. But I think this is my worldview, and I want you to understand it so you know who I am. One came from the women's movement and was very passionate about social justice and civil rights. The other was more of the white working class in rural communities. In fact, 16 counties, 15 of them were some of the most rural and reddest communities that God ever made. But I believe fundamentally, perhaps it's because I'm a young person, but I think the politics is there too. I believe fundamentally that we do not have to choose between these false choices of civil rights and social justice and the rural working class. I believe and choose both. And that is how I want to lead this party. It's really important. The number one job of a party in the American tradition, this is not political science, this is just ancient history. The number one job, Madison said it as one of our founders, is to win elections. We don't do it because we're vain. We don't do it because of egotism or the rest. We do it because that's how we can fight for our people and our values. I believe in Democrats who are unafraid to be Democrats. We're going to go out there, they're going to hit us anyway, so we might as well be who we are. We might as well be who we are. And I'm going to fight for that. I believe in Democrats that go everywhere. And this is my plan. My plan is about Democrats who go and fight in all 95 counties. It's very long because I've listened to you and your details and I want to understand, but I just want to highlight a few things if you don't mind. I think the most important word in politics is and. The consultant class, who I think we rely too much, is either or. I am a person of both and. I like the cocktail happy hours. But I am concerned that we're doing well among the cocktail crowd and we're not being fish fry and barbecue Democrats. Think about that. Think about it a second. Fish fry and barbecues. Some folks connote that in rural communities, rural white communities. But there's also realities that these work in urban and black communities as well, particularly in churches and places of worship. I believe deeply in a Democratic Party that goes everywhere, in all 95 counties. And let me explain this. I'm pragmatic. I understand. I think Holly's right. I think that we do have to have a particular focus. But I think we can go everywhere too. And the way I've schemed this out in my plan is I think we should have 25 seats that we call red to blue, that we put in resources, and that should be about power, the seats that matter the most for Tennesseans and their families, and the seats that we can turn. But here's my proposal, and I'm running with it. There are 95 counties in this state. 94 right now we have. Oh, come on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to block you. Sorry, sometimes I get a little provoked. There are 94 counties that have parties in the state. Here's my proposal. I think in every county in this state, there is at least one race that we can put the totality of energy and resources and people behind. And I think this can be a county commissioner race. This can be a city mayor race. This can be a state house race. We are down, folks. And I think we need someone to tell you the truth. We are losing. We are losing, and we are doing worse than other communities are, and other southern states are. And the demographics are bad, but the reality of it is we're losing beyond the demographics. There's a structural issue. There's people missing. And I want to find those people. How much time do I have left? Is that?
You got 3 minutes.
Oh, good. Okay. I hope we're having fun. Okay, so Carl Dean's right. Carl Dean's right. There are 500,000 voters that we need. That's the whole scoreboard, right? And that's the scoreboard that I want to focus on. If that is the way to win. The only thing that matters is winning elections because we can fight for our people and our values. 500,000. I think 350,000 of them are young people, under 40. I think there's 3 things we should know about them. They're either not registered, they do not vote, or they do not like politics. I have a bias towards young. Probably because of my age. But look at the math. We are not going to convert 500,000 Republicans. So let me find 350,000 Democrats who we have not gotten. So we need candidates that inspire young people. One thing that concerns me is I think that sometimes we run candidates that are not up to the grade. I'm glad that we have more people. Mary should give a lot of credit for that. She get a hell of a lot of credit that we were able to find more folks in the fold. I think we need to mechanize that and be more particular about that. I think we need to have folks that don't just have cachet in our party, but have cachet in the community and have wide appeal beyond the party because we're too small to win these elections. 350,000 of them, I think about half of those folks are in rural communities, 175,000. And I think about 175,000 of them are in cities. Now, I would say that one of the things, elections are about distinctions, right? I am a both and person. I think we kind of operate in the politics of either or, both in the way we communicate and who we target and how we do things. But I think we're not creative and innovative enough. And I think a new generation of leadership can work. People look at me and say, oh, you might be too young. Well, you know, I have quite a bit of experience behind me. I've worked for President Obama. I've worked in national office. I've run for Congress. Evan was on my team here. We, in 65 days before early voting started, 6 young women and 2 young men and I set out on a mission. We knocked 13,000 doors. My name recognition on the day I announced in May, after I followed in April, I announced in May, was 0. Dogs were more known than me. Cats were more known than me. But in 65 days, early voting begins, and on August 2nd, we got nearly 12,000 votes. It was a firecracker. I believe there is energy in this party to do a firecracker. If you elect me, I'm all in. I believe that I believe in a party chair that is all in about relationships, not just structures. There can be structures, there can be materials, but is there relationships? And so I am dedicated to going to all 95 counties within the first 3 months of my election because I believe that's what we need. We need fire, we need energy, we need to have missionary zeal to find Democrats. I don't believe in a party that spends all its time punishing heretics. I want to see converts. I want to see converts. We need resources to do it. I have a way to get there. I think there's a way that we can communicate, do all the above. Once again, we do either or, I think, on fundraising. It's either small donors and in-state only, or out-of-state and sell us to the highest bidder. I think we can do something that combines the best of Tennessee and both big dollars, small dollars, and communicates the best of Tennessee to those who are outside of the state and say, this is a place to invest in because there's young people here, there's energy here, there's a future here, and we can turn this state around. The youngest chair of the Democratic Party right now, it's a little bit older than me, is in Oklahoma. Look what happened in Oklahoma. This young woman, people said she was wet behind the ears, but she had some energy and she had some fire and spit tongue. And she has moved the fulcrum on Oklahoma. People say our ambitions are too high. I don't think they're high enough. People say that, how many of you have gotten an email from me in the past 48 hours? People say I communicate not enough or too much. I say not enough. I think we have to go all in. Look, if you're fine with the status quo, if you're fine every 10 years saying a prayer and hoping we get a seat or two, I'm not your man. Let me tell you something, though. I think the risk is not taking a change, not taking a chance. I think I'm actually the safe side of it because we know it works. We know when Democrats choose younger people with a vision, with energy, and when we get a wider tent and more people into the fold, we win elections in surprising places. I hope you ask me the hardest questions on earth. We will be here. We have an after event at a pizza place. I can't remember the name of it downtown. Was it? Rockin' Dome. I'll answer any question you have, but I'm going everywhere to earn your vote. We're going across the state again. And not just ECs, I like ECs, but to everyone. I want to hear you. I want your questions, and I want to fight for you and your families.